welcome to Career Launch Australia. This is Ketki, and today with me I have Anshi here. And Anshi has recently secured a position in the testing space, and we just wanted to congratulate her, but more importantly, for Anshi to share some of the success story and her journey through the job search process. So, congratulations, Anshi.
Thank you so much, Ketki, and thank you for having me here.
Absolutely. So, tell us a little bit, Anshi. Your situation was unique. I know that when you came to Career Launch Australia, you said that you had, for family reasons, for your daughter, you had about 5 years approximately of a career gap.
Yeah.
Where you'd done other things, you'd done certifications, but not actively been in your field. So, how was your mindset before? And then how did your mindset, change, and how did you overcome that after you started the coaching?
Yeah, when we moved to Melbourne, I was in a position that I want to go back to IT, and but I had approximately 5 year of gap since I did last work in IT. So I was having a mindset that I might not get a job because there are already many people in the market who are fresh, who are working throughout. So why will anybody offer a job to someone who is actively out of the field? Though I have done few of the certifications during this time. So I had a feeling, means I was applying for many jobs as well before getting in touch with Career Launch. So I was under the impression that I am not getting any calls just because I had this gap. But when I got introduced to Career Launch, and I was introduced to Rajiv sir and you, so this, like in our first session only, the Rajiv sir made it very clear that gap is not that point. Gap should not be a thing that should stop you from getting a job. So eventually it took me little bit of time to get it in my mind that yes, gap is not there. But yes, after few sessions, the gap thing was totally gone from my mind, because initially what was happening when I was talking to recruiters or anybody, I was mentioning that I had this gap, and because of this, and means I was being little bit negative about that. But when we had sessions with Rajiv sir, then I came to know that gap is not a point.
Right.
So then I was more confident. If I was talking about the gap, I was talking about the positive things about the gap.
Right.
So it really helped me, and very surprisingly, the job that I got, they never mentioned anything about the gap, neither in the interview nor after interview.
Right.
They were very open about it,
Yeah.
accepting about it,
Yeah.
and so that really helped.
Yeah,
really.
that's a really good point that you mentioned, that when you eventually did secure the position that you did, I mean, that was a non-issue for them. They didn't even bring it up. So it came down to your skills and your expertise and what you can offer to the table.
That's correct.
Now, having been away for a while, right, from your field of expertise, you tend to lose touch, okay?
Yeah.
And I remember when you started working, you worked really hard on yourself, on your networking skills, on a lot of skills.
Yes.
And really, took critical feedback and implemented that. So can you highlight, how did you consciously work on yourself and bring about that confidence through the coaching, through the mock calls? How did you do that so that you felt very confident?
Yeah, like initially I was very much hesitant. Like I had this fear of rejection in me. I was very much hesitant in calling anybody, like calling a recruiter or means calling XYZ. I was very hesitant in doing that. But after the sessions, I came out of my zone. I came out of the fear zone that I had. So I started making confident calls, but still, there also I was lacking a bit. So the mock calls that I had, especially with you, we had some mock calls.
Yes.
So that mock calls helped me a lot, and then with the mock calls, I sometimes recorded myself as well, like how I'm going to express myself, what I'm going to say.
Yeah.
So I worked on that.
Yeah.
So making my speech more confident more crisp and clear.
Yes.
So the guidance that you guys provided, that all helped me in building up a perfect pitch for myself,
Yeah.
and that really helped me. Means after the initial phase, I became so used to it. Like, I was calling a number of recruiters in a day
Yeah.
without even thinking that what they will say. Like,
Right.
they will say no and they don't
Yes.
have anything,
Yes.
because Rajiv sir has said that your goal is to just make calls, and what they say should not impact your thing. Means sometimes it happened that whatever they say, that impacted me, that uh, brought negative feelings to me. But then again, after talking to Rajiv sir and you, that really vanished off,
Yeah.
and I was again back on track.
Yeah. And and I think you did it. You were so good at it that I remember that session where we had the
Yeah.
calls, and I remember telling you that you sounded like a totally different person on the phone
Yeah.
eventually. So it really shows, the persistence and the hard work that you put in to transform yourself to, get the result that you want. Now, in terms of interviews, I remember talking just
Yeah.
before your interview, and we did some interview preparation, went through questions, but also in terms of what to expect or the number of interviews that you might have. So how did that help you, when it came to interview time? And I think you had a surprise on that day as well.
Yeah,
right?
actually, on interview time, I was just called for a written test. I didn't know that there is gonna be any interview round after that.
Yes.
But yes, the heads up from you the day before that it can happen that you will end up in interview.
Yes.
So I ended up giving 2 rounds of interview on the same day,
Yeah.
just after my written test.
Yeah.
So the documents that we have prepared during the sessions that I had with Career Launch, that really helped me, because as and when the person was asking me questions in the interview,
Yeah.
in my mind I was able to relate back to a particular question that we have prepared in the document, and I could give my answer straight away. I didn't have to go back to my work like 7-8 years back, that what I had done, because that all hard work was already done.
Yes.
We have already pointed out, picked up everything and put it on a paper.
Yeah.
So I just have to think about that thing from that paper and got the correct answer.
Yeah.
So my interview lasted for more than an hour.
Yes. Wow.
So, but yes, most of the things I could say that I could find an answer from the documents that I prepared in the sessions with Career Launcher.
Yes. And I think you did a great job when you were putting all of that information together, because a lot of the time when someone is looking for a position, they just feel like, yes, I should just go apply and then I'll get a job.
Yeah.
But this preparation that you talk about, it's not just for applying for the job, but it's also when you get called in for an interview or you're talking to a potential employer, that it's helpful because it's already documented and it's
Yes.
already there. So, one of the, I guess, on a closing note, now that you've been through the coaching, you've been through the journey of starting, unsure and now having the result in
Yes.
your hand, what are some of the coaching tips that, stayed with you, that you took away? And, why would you recommend this career launch to somebody who's in a similar situation to you and really wanting to get that breakthrough and wanting that guidance?
Yeah, means the best thing that I liked about choosing, means I can say very well, means I very confidently I can say that this was the best investment of my life that I made till day. Not only in terms of securing a job, but means it has changed me from being negative in any field to being positive. Means seeing the positive, expressing yourself confidently. Means whenever you are talking to anybody, you should be confident in whatever you are saying. You should be having your points with you before you go ahead with anything. So some of the things that I liked was the preparing of TJD and other documents that we did. Means it took a bit of time. In the beginning I was a bit like, why are we doing this, why are we writing so much? But means it took a bit of time in recalling everything and documenting it, but I guess they really helped me, and not only for this job, I guess that structure, that format is going to
Yes.
help me forever.
Yes.
So whenever I will go for the next jobs or whatever opportunity I want to do, these are going to help me always. So technique means job wise, these documents have helped me a lot.
Mm.
And otherwise, it has, I guess it has made a lot of difference in my personality as well, making me a more confident, more outgoing person.
Sure.
So yeah, more positivity is in me now. Yeah.
Absolutely. Thanks so much, Anshi, for sharing. I know that your story has inspired so many that who will be watching, especially you have a daughter and
Yeah.
you're a mom as well, and
Mm.
you wanted to really get back into the workforce. And I know that there are a
Yes.
lot of mothers out there or people who've taken a break for some time and they want to get back into the workforce, but they just don't know how or don't have a clear pathway. So thanks so much for sharing your story. And we'll talk to you soon again on Career Launch Australia.
Thank you so much, Katie.
Sure.
Thank you.